everybody. I'm the uncle. And this is our Christmas show. Merry Christmas to everybody. Christmas 2021. First order of business is this. Before we get to his New York Mets, who make a lot of noise this offseason, we have Mitchell College. And this young man right here, the former starting shortstop of Smithtown East.
Still on.
Yes, the current starting shortstop will be the shortstop next year for Mitchell College, the starting shortstop. So congratulations, Chris. I know you're excited about that, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to go and get started.
It's going to be a
Great
lot of fun.
program over there. Everyone has a chip on their shoulder, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
And that's in
Connecticut, New London.
Connecticut. Right. So it's a short run. We can go up there and see you, spend a weekend. Nice.
Foxwoods.
Okay. Looking forward. No, never mind Foxwoods. I got enough trouble without Foxwoods. But okay, all right. So let's get going. I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about it. Scherzer, Martin, right? Marte, Escobar, Canna, Bucky Showalter, the Buckaroo.
Fantastic offseason for the Mets, and they're spending big dollars. And
yeah.
Most of my friends are Yankees fans. Unfortunately, they're all saying they'll find a way to Mets it. And unfortunately, it's tough for me to argue that. They always do.
Yeah. Well, and they're not done, right? I think they're going to spend money. They're going to spend some money on some arms. I think what happened is they got pissed off when Syndergaard signed with the Angels,
right.
And Cohen just opened a checkbook and said, "Who do we want?" and just started writing checks. But they filled a hole in center field with Marte. They filled a hole at third base with Escobar. And Scherzer's a gun, man. He's at the top of the rotation. And it all depends on DeGrom's health, of course. If DeGrom's healthy, nobody's better.
We have two of the best pitchers of our generation.
You do?
In our rotation as our 1-2 punch.
100%.
In a 5-game series like the division series, that's tough to beat.
It is.
With the 7, I think we still need to get one more solid starting pitcher in the back. I would have loved if we still had Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler is turning into a top 5 pitcher in the National League. Yeah. The guy just is a beast, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew as soon as he was going to he left the Mets.
And when the Phillies signed him, they signed him 5 years, $110 million. Everybody thought that was overpaying. It's not looking that way now, is it?
And he's not a young guy, but he's not old. He's 31 years old.
He doesn't have a lot of miles on that arm, too.
Yeah.
Because he missed a lot of time early on. So that's exciting for your New York Mets. Who else do you think they're going to sign?
That's a great. I haven't looked into that too much, honestly. I just really want this lockout to be over.
Yeah.
With it, I want MLB to get back, and it's December. There's not games or anything, but I want these signings to happen. There's still some big free agents that we want. I want to see where Story goes. I want to see where Correa goes.
And we'll talk about the lockout in a little bit, but first let's talk about Texas Rangers. They signed Seager for $325 million. They signed Simeon for $175. That's $500 million in shortstop and second base. They'll get you a lot of runs. They'll score runs, even though Seager has a history of injury. And I think that may have hurt him. The Dodgers tried to sign him, but they weren't going to overextend.
Why should they?
Well, that's right. That's right. And they got Trey Turner for just such an emergency, right? So the Rangers are trying to make some noise. They'll need some pitching, but they've got 2 really good signings. I think you would agree, right?
Simeon was in the American League MVP conversation last year. The dude just had a fantastic breakout year.
Right.
And it's tough to say breakout because 2019 and 2020 had 2 great seasons as well.
Right.
And Seager's a guy who's going to hit 280, 290. He's going to hit you 30 home runs in a season. He's going to be consistent.
If he plays all year, if he say 150 games, I make a prediction he'll hit 60 doubles this year.
Really?
Because they got that big outfield in Texas. And when Seager's at his best, he's a gap-to-gap hitter. He led the league in doubles. I think it was 219. And he missed like 20, 25 games. And he still led the league in doubles.
You know him better than most. You've watched every game he's played.
I have. And I love the guy. I think he's an average shortstop. I think in about he just signed a 10-year deal.
His arm's not crazy.
No, in 3 or 4 years he'll be a third baseman or DH. But so it'll be an overpayment on the back end. But they got a really good guy, and he's got a slow heartbeat. Big of the game, he don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, MVP in the divisional playoffs and the World Series 2 years ago.
And with the Rangers, just to add on to that a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
they've got two young guys that have quietly had themselves two breakout years. And Adolis Garcia and Isaiah Kiner Falefa, I definitely said that wrong. But Isaiah is the catcher he's not going to hit you for power, but he's going to hit you for average. He's going to gun guys out. Not many people are stealing on him.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia is a guy that will hit you home runs.
Right.
He's going to produce a lot of runs for you. He's going to drive a lot of guys in.
And catcher's a position where you can sacrifice offense for defense.
Yeah.
Right?
It's tough to win without a good catcher.
As the New York Yankees have found out over the last couple of years.
Gary
Sanchez. I'm sorry, Yankee fans, for mentioning that.
I think they'll agree with us. He has flashes of when he hits really well, but Gary Sanchez. But he is a disaster defensively. He doesn't hustle.
He's not even one dimensional. He's half a dimensional because he's a home run or nothing. You know. Anyway, let's keep going. The lockout. We're in the middle of a lockout right now. What are your thoughts on that?
I just want it to end. I don't think it's been a month yet. It's been like 3 weeks so far, and I'm just sick of it already.
Yeah.
I want to see some things happen. Before it happened, we had the most exciting offseason in recent years.
But for the Mets, for sure.
Especially for the Mets. That might be a little biased. I'm a Mets fan, but
yeah.
Don't let the Braves jersey fool you.
Yeah, no, it's, well, it is. It started December 1st, I think. We're December 25th now. So, it's a little over 3 weeks. And what's difficult about this is both sides hate each other. They don't trust each other.
Right.
And because of that, I think progress will be slow. That's what I think. It wouldn't surprise me if spring training was delayed. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if it even lasted a little bit longer and we had a shortened season. I would hate to see that as well. But I look at both sides of this. There is so much money to be made, but neither side trusts the other one, and they won't give an inch. They won't give an inch. So, and Manfred, the next right decision he makes will be the first one as commissioner. I have zero confidence in him. So, it doesn't bode well. It doesn't really promise well for the season to start on time. But at the end of the day, I just keep thinking there's so much money at stake, and there's so many ball players that don't have a deal, and they're out there, and they're going to need time to negotiate a deal to get their best deal. We just think they'd be able to settle this thing. Anyway, we can hope. But also, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I think part of it is MLB as a business fault. MLB does a terrible job of marketing their players and marketing the game of baseball in general.
Yeah.
Think about it. NBA's best players, NFL's best players, LeBron James, you know who he is. Pat Mahomes, household name. Mike Trout is one of the best athletes of our time.
Yep.
Not outside of baseball fans, not too many people know who he is. That's a problem that I think MLB will have to fix moving forward, is the marketing aspect.
That's a good point. Part of that problem is he plays in Anaheim.
That's true.
That's part of it. And we made the playoffs once, and they didn't win a game.
But even look at Jacob deGrom. The Mets obviously weren't a playoff team last year, but they are exciting to watch, and they compete.
But they play in New York, too.
And they play in New York, one of the biggest markets in the world.
That's helpful to deGrom.
Yeah, but still, not as many people outside of the baseball world and baseball fans know who he is. And I think just from a marketing aspect, MLB would need to fix that, and it would generate even more money for them.
Right. One last subject I want to touch upon, something that was long, long overdue, happened since we spoke to you last. Gil Hodges was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Gil Hodges, who was a great player, a great man, and a great manager, skippered the 1969 New York Metropolitans to the impossible dream, the amazing Mets. That was incredible. I lived through that. I watched that. I still don't believe it. And that was Gil. He was a gentleman. he was a great player. When he retired, he was the #1 right-handed hitting home run player in the National League. So he had it was a great fielder. He only won 3 Gold Gloves, but most of his career was before they even gave Gold Gloves. Otherwise, he would have had a hamper full of them. Great fielder, great player, great man, great patriot in the Marines during World War II. Just a long overdue award, and Gil, we're very happy for you. God bless you and your family. Anything else?
That covers everything. We are all good.
Okay.
Merry Christmas to you and your family. Stay safe, stay
Yes.
healthy.
Yes.
Until next time.
Until next time, the uncle and the carbuncle.